Jared Lee.
Yeah.
I think I did okay.
You did all right. You did all right. I talked to Jared Lee earlier today. Focus. He was sitting in the corner before tonight's contest. He's just very focused. Trying to remember what their mantra was. Relax. Breathe.
Don't do it.
No. Breathe, relax, fight.
Yeah.
That's their mantra in their gym.
Yeah.
Jared Lee was just sitting over in the corner, very relaxed.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do. A lot of times, especially as these guys begin their career, a lot of times what the coaches are looking for is, hey, dude, treat it like sparring. And do the same stuff you do in practice.
His trainer was the gentleman we talked to earlier tonight on our Facebook pre-show. He was the one who was telling us, got to breathe, relax, and fight. Stay focused on the task at hand. Don't worry about everything else that's going on around you. Get in the ring. Handle business.
Fight number 11. This is the boys' topic. International rules 132.1 to 137 pounds. Fighting out of the red corner.
Oh, so these are juniors. These are boys.
Yeah.
These are young men.
And fighting out of the blue corner, Jared Lee. And your referee is Anthony Bowie.
Boys novice.
Anthony Bowie.
Boys novice international 137. This is going to be fast.
Hopefully we can keep up with all the action. They touch gloves to get started.
Both of them working with lead leg kicks. And then a flurry. Oi, goodness. Spinning back kick from Jared Lee just barely misses. And a head kick finds its home, causing, and a question mark style kick from Heenuli-Shumaker. And the boys clinch up.
Bowie calls for the break.
Yeah, it's international rules.
No knees.
There's no clinching at all, no knees. Schumacher having trouble with that headgear. Yes, sir, is the correct answer there. If you were curious.
Just in case you were wondering what the answer is.
Heenuli-Shumaker, when you watch this back, the correct answer there is just yes, sir. We understand. Ooh, some fancy movement. Jared Lee with the spinning back kick to the groin of Heenuli-Shumaker.
And the furniture just got moved.
Back in the day in the karate tournaments, that was legal.
It was a legal.
Yeah, it was a point. He told Anthony Bowie to fix his headgear. He said, man, go to your corner and tell them guys to do that. Young
Round
guys.
it up.
Yeah, young guys.
I don't know. That may have not have been low.
Play it again. You got another angle?
Let's go to the other angle. See if we can get there.
Because there's a spot and you just barely missed with that big push kick. I like that he did the little flourish with his hands before he went. He said, yeah, hard to say.
Back to live action.
And he goes back to that spinning back kick. Sometimes when you throw a low attack, it'll kind of make you not want to throw it anymore, but that doesn't appear to be the case with Jared Lee. Ooh.
That kick, the one previous, it looked like it just got him in the hip.
Yeah.
He might have thought it was in his groin.
Heenuli-Shumaker, when he gets into the pocket, he just starts winging right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left.
By the way, these are juniors, and we're about deep into round number one.
Jared Lee a good bit more composed and a little cleaner with the combinations. Heenuli-Shumaker making up the difference with brutality and aggression. But Jared Lee, you mentioned him being focused and composed. Even in these exchanges that are rough exchanges, his expression on his face doesn't change.
10 seconds to go. Nice little combo. into round number 1.
Wow.
A lot there.
Yeah, these guys are impressive. It's a lot going on. Yeah, that one glanced off, and then he does a little flourish of his hands, which I'm gonna steal because I think it looked cool. See, that looks cool. Watch this. Yeah. Who knows? Hard to say. We're not the ones getting hit, so it's hard for us to say.
Yeah.
But there is a spot just above you can get hit. It's a legal hit, but it feels very much like a low blow. And when you're tired and you want to break, everything feels like a low blow.
Yeah. He was holding on to his arm there.
Yeah, hooking the glove. A little dirty little boxing there. As long as you let go before Anthony tells you to.
Or before he see it.
Yeah. It's only illegal if you get caught.
That's right. Round number 2 between these juniors. The international rules 132 to 137 from the Landmark Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Jared leads with a big kick. Heenuli-Shumaker keeping the distance, and again back to those big lefts and rights and lefts and rights. Oh, about ducked himself into a head kick there. Jared Lee feinting, using that lead leg, mixing up the style of kicking that he's using, going outside leg kick, lead teep kick, and rear leg kick.
Credit to Shumaker. He's definitely responding, though.
Yeah. Spinning wheel kick blocked. Not enough snap on it to do damage through the guard. And a kick of his own. Heenuli-Shumaker throwing that spinning wheel kick.
And Shumaker kind of just stopped in mid-spin.
Yeah, he's exhausted. He just right there, he just gassed himself. Sometimes you can trace it to it. Still can punch hard. Sometimes you can see the exact moment when it happens. These boys, both of them threw the spin kick, one right after the other. That happens a lot. You know, if I throw a cool technique, you'll feel like you need to show. Ooh, hard right from Jared Lee.
I saw it on YouTube, too.
Yeah. Ooh, the right hand finding its home from Jared Lee. And he's finding his way inside with his punches. He's throwing them straighter, whereas Heenuli-Shumaker is winging them wide. Yeah, there's nothing on that kick.
Yeah.
He's not throwing any power to it. Maybe he's tired, or maybe the ring is tough, or maybe he's used to pulling it in practice. That's another one. In practice, you don't throw that hard.
and he's throwing it as light as he would in practice.
Yeah, that's not one you can really throw hard in practice. And it's not fun to throw that one hard at a bag either.
No, because the bag ain't moving. Ooh, that's a nice spinning.
Yeah, he faked the spinning back fist and went to the round kick from the head, but not a lot of power. Not a lot of power on those head kicks.
Boy, doing a lot of educating here.
Yeah. He's saying you can't do that. That sucks because I taught that technique a couple weeks ago. I taught it in class. If they turn their back, just swing your hand around to the front.
Nice body shot from Lee.
Ooh, head kick
and
from
a nice
Lee.
head kick.
And then he went to spinning back kick again with a little flourish.
And that's how he wraps up the round.
Yeah. Yeah. What the Heenuli-Shumaker's answer to these exchanges to swing wildly. Not too wildly. I say wildly. Those are not real wild. I need to correct that. I need to give him his props. They're sharp hooks. They're good hooks. But they require a lot more gas than the crisper, more technical approach of Jared Lee. Boom, and then up top.
Oh.
Yeah.
He partially caught it.
Yeah, and he blocked it a little and might
came back with something right to the.
Yeah. Heenuli-Shumaker definitely has the power advantage, but Jared Lee's style and strategic choices require less energy, so I think in the third round that might favor him. See that with the hands there?
Yep. And he bent down to it.
Yeah. That's bad. You're not supposed to. You shouldn't do that.
Don't do that. Third round. Fight number 11 here, Lee-Shumaker.
Anthony Bowie has his hands full with these young men. They're learning the rules of the road.
On the fly.
Yeah. Oh, Heenuli finding a home for those punches. Ooh, sharp, snappy punches from Jared Lee. Both young men landed some hard punches. Jared Lee just beating him to the punch. He's just got this. Ooh, head kick. Another head kick. Sharp punches. Anthony Bowie moves in to break it. He realizes he's going to have to break these guys. Jared Lee just landing 6, 7, 8 jabs in a row. And a right head kick. And, you know, I was a little critical of Jared Lee early on for not putting a lot of power into his kicks, but not putting power into him is what's allowing him to keep throwing them.
Yeah.
And he's starting to land them more often.
And he's doing a little punching and boxing with it.
Yeah.
Body shot, not letting him.
Oh, yucky.
Uh-oh.
Yuck.
And Bowie had to hold himself back.
Yeah, I think he realized these are young guys, you know. They're doing the best they can, probably. And now Anthony Bowie's having to watch the action a lot more closely now. So Bowie had verbally called for a break, and a couple times when he did that, the boys had broken on their own. You know, oh, he ducks himself into a head kick, and then there's a spinning wheel kick. And Heenuli-Shumaker is spent.
Yeah.
If Jared Lee keeps it to those straight punches, followed by those sharp kicks, and avoids eating a big shot.
Shumaker's just not making any contact.
Look at that. He threw a kick and had no steam left on it. It landed and did nothing. Another hit on the break.
10 seconds to go. And Lee in firm control here.
Yeah. And finishes with the head kick. And look, Heenuli-Shumaker says, what the heck? Bowie didn't break that one. He tried to break y'all a couple times, and you hit him on the break a couple times. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, as they say somewhere.
The third and final round. All Lee.
These young guys both showed a lot of promise. That power style of Shumaker doesn't let. He ducked himself into that one. He said, "Well, I'm gonna get hit with it." I think this might be one of the times where we saw the cheeky little shot on the break. Beautiful kicks from Jared Lee. What do you got, Derek? Who do you think won that one?
I'm going to go with Lee.
I'm inclined to agree. That first round might have been Shumaker.
Might have been.
He's throwing some hard. Well, he still had the gas tank. Those power shots were doing a lot of damage. But if you can't put the guy away with them, they might work against you.
Yeah, Lee definitely was a little slow out the gates, but he eventually found his way. And that facial expression not changed yet.
In the Boys Novice International Rules, the IKF East Coast Fall Classic winner, fighting out of the blue corner, Jared Lee.
What a fight. What a great fight.
Good job by both of these competitors here.
Wonderful job from these young men. They did a great job.
Jared Lee.
And to think they're just getting started, these guys.
Just getting started.
Fighting with the technique at that level, you know? Next up, we got Brandon Carter.